Hello and welcome to Sports Today. I had to do this show. Trust me, from that moment that no ball was given, I still believe it wasn't a no ball and it was not conclusive. Even God comes and tells me it was conclusive, I will not believe. That's the truth. And according to the law, go read the law. And I've read the law at least 222 times after that. You've got to stand upright. And clearly, Nick Carey was bent. Even after she was bent, the ball was not waist high. In what book, in what circumstances that was given a no ball remains a mystery to me. After that, and obviously the 49th over first ball of Rajeshwari Gaikwad, that was a plumb LBW decision. So not to have DRS when two of the greatest cricket teams now, two of the richest boards, perhaps the greatest cricket team of all time, better than Ponting's team, better than Lloyd's team. I rate Meg Lanning's team as the best. That team versus an India, which is perhaps, full of talent, richest board playing and no DRS, is a shocker. That's where ICC needs to come in. Stop this tokenism about changing from batter to batsman to batter and fieldsman to fielder. Do all that. That's fine. But this is tokenism. Do some real change. Introduce DRS in the women's game. There is enough money. There is enough money in the ICC's coffers. And don't come and tell me it's the BCCI's responsibility and Cricket Australia's. Because BCCI and Cricket Australia can indeed do it and should also if the ICC doesn't step up. But the fact of the matter is other cricket boards, relatively poorer cricket boards, cannot do that. So it will become an uneven playing field. That is why I'm saying the ICC should bear that broadcast cost and add DRS to the women's game. The scoreline of this series should have been 2-1 India. Let's be very, very clear about it. This series was India's. The scoreline should have been 2-1 India, and that is the fair scoreline. No debate. Australia is a better fielding unit. They catch better. And that's where we need to improve. But the kind of performance the BCCI women's team have, the girls have shown after the first match is stellar. They were routed in the first match, and I know what transpired post that. Multiple meetings happened, and clearly they wanted to prove a point to everybody. They wanted to prove a point. The captain, the vice captain, the senior members, including Mitali, Smriti, Jhulan, all of them wanted to prove a point to the world. And you see the improvement in the second game was incredible. Smriti's 86 was a top innings. The effort from Jhulan to get that Alyssa Healy wicket was a top effort. So, and I also know, and I'm telling you this, there are certain things one cannot disclose on the show. I also know what the girls went through after the second game. Okay, and it's essential. Okay, some important points. How many of us know that the ball was actually changed? The ball was actually changed, from what I know from people in commentary in Australia, at the start of the 50th over in the second game. If I know right, the ball was indeed changed, and that is why maybe Mitali had to go with Jhulan because it was a harder ball, and not with a spinner because the spinner could have taken the pace of the ball had it been the softer ball. The ball was actually, and this is an umpire's call as we know, the ball was changed before the start of the 50th over in the second game. Look, no one is casting aspersions. Rick Iyer was debating with me on Twitter. No one is casting aspersions, but the truth is, if you did not want to sort of have doubt, why introduce neutral umpires in the 1980s and 1990s, and based on what transpired, for example, in Pakistan? Clearly, there was doubt. The reason we have neutral umpires today, is it because India doesn't have good umpires, or Australia doesn't, or England doesn't? It is because you want to ensure that even in terms of perception, it is a fair playing field and a level playing field. That is why neutral umpires. Now, if you can make players travel, if you can make players get into biosecure bubbles and continue with the sport, what stops you from having one neutral umpire or two neutral umpires also do the same drill? So let us not live in an utopic world. Rick Iyer, this is for you. I have great respect for you, but let's not get into a tangle where you will have no place to hide. Okay, so let us clearly have neutral umpires, because the reason is it is also about perception. perception wise, that match did not leave a good impression in anyone's mouth. And also, the Indian team members feel that way. Cannot disclose more in the middle of a series, but let me tell you very bluntly, the Indian team members feel let down by what had transpired on that particular night. And that is the truth. And that is why I can tell you this, that Jhulan, for example, was in a horrible frame of mind. She just could not come to terms with what had transpired in that game. And one of the greatest athletes that I know, who believes in the idiom of fair play, is Jhulan Goswami. I have the greatest respect for her, greatest. She's family to me, and I know what she was going through. Could not sleep that night, and it was one of those horrible nights for Jhulan Goswami after what had transpired that last over. And that's where I think this is also to a degree divine, that Jhulan Goswami stays there. The stage was set. It was Sneh Rana's game. Sneh Rana, after that no ball call, those 3 boundaries of Talia Magra was brilliant, right? Including that final shot over mid-on. Was excellent, Sneh Rana. Excellent. And in all logic and all fairness, she should have finished that game. Sneh Rana should have finished that game based on the way she had actually played. But that's how sport is. It allows you, and I keep saying this to everybody, sport allows you to fail in public and get criticized, humiliated, distressed. But then the same sport, within a couple of days, with the help of your support team, your teammates, allows you to come back and win in public. The only thing in the world that makes for this: fail in public, come back and win in public. And there is this cricketing god, if there is one, was watching Jhulan Goswami today. The stage was set for that final act from Jhulan Goswami after what had transpired in game 2. That release shot had to come from Jhulan Goswami against the terrific Sophie Molyneux. And hats off to her with that injury to be able to bowl the way Sophie was bowling. Tremendous act of courage, incredible act of courage. And I can't tell you how pleased I am for Jhulan. I know what kind of an athlete she is, what the sport means to her, how much she gives to this sport, how much she wanted to win that match. And having scored 275, India ought to have won is also the truth. No debate, we fielded badly and dropped catches, but that DRS of the 49.1 and that inconclusive no ball, according to me, the scoreline should have been 2-1 India. India, the way the Indian girls came back after the first match, they deserved to win this series 2-1. Smriti Mandhana was excellent in the second match, starting out with as an opener. And moment your openers start to fire, this is a very different team. Today also, if you see, it was outstanding start. Yes, Elise Perry gave a couple of wide boundaries, and in the first 10 overs, Australia had considered a lot of extras, but Smriti and Shefali were going excellent. I mean, the moment you have a 6+ run start, India was sort of motoring along. At no point in time did the run rate go beyond controllable limits. Even after Smriti got out, Yastika and Shefali, and I loved the way Shefali approached the innings. I'm making no qualms about it. I've always said, love Shefali Verma bat. And today, the way she batted, she was 30 of almost 60 balls at a strike rate of 50, which is very unlike Shefali Verma. We know 60 balls from Shefali Verma means 70 runs or 80 runs. Today was not that. Today was a different Shefali Verma. 30 of some 60 balls or 60, and thereafter came the charge. Once Yastika Bhatia got in, and it was an outstanding effort from Shefali Verma. Make no mistake. Yastika Bhatia, I did a show with Rahul Dravid the other day, and I asked Rahul Dravid, who should one watch out for? And he mentioned Yastika Bhatia to me. I did mention this to a couple of my friends as well, that Rahul Dravid mentioned Yastika Bhatia and how good she was. Yes, she's a keeper and her fielding needs to get better, but my thought is India can easily utilize Yastika Bhatia in the slips or in the close cordon, because we also have Richa Ghosh. After that stellar partnership between Shefali and Yastika, that mid-inning slump, again expected because Australia knows how to win and India is trying to get there. This Meg Lanning team is better than perhaps Clive Lloyd's team and better than Ponting's team in terms of dominance. Obviously, you cannot compare, but in terms of dominance, this is an incredible unit. Make no mistake, this is the greatest cricket team of all time. To be able to beat them takes a special effort. Then love that partnership between Deepti and Rana. Yes, that no ball, but Deepti, some of the shots that she played, the pull through mid wicket, stellar, and then Rana took over. India batted deep, good call to get Rana back into the team. So you added a layer of batting going deeper, and look how that batting delivered. Terrific innings. 2-3 critical points I want to make to you. One, I think we need to improve our catching and fielding because, from over number 30 odd when Beth Mooney and Ashley Gardner were batting, when these two batters were out there, between over number 30 and 40, there were some 6 catches dropped and some 14-15 misfields that happened. I was counting, and those were costly runs that can hurt India. Big time hurt India. I thought Australia could have been kept to 230 and that score became 265 because of some poor fielding and poor catching. Shefali dropped it, Richa dropped it, even with the wicket-keeping gloves on, Richa dropped an absolute regulation catch. These are areas where the Indian women need to improve, and there is no two ways that fielding can be improved with repeated practice. In terms of potential, there is serious potential in this team. Yastika Bhatia, Shefali Verma, Smriti Mandana, needless to say Mithali Raj, and anybody who is criticizing Mithali Raj is an absolute nutcase. We know what she did in England. We know she's the glue that binds this team together. So for God's sake, she's around for 6 more months. Enjoy every moment of Mithali Raj and Jhulan Goswami. Enjoy every second that Mithali Raj and Jhulan Goswami are out there in the park playing for this particular team. There is a hell lot of talent. When Harman comes back, Deepti, Richa, Pooja Vastrakar, Rana, this is a solid unit, folks. I really like the looks of Meghna Singh. She's able to move the ball. That problem that we were having in the earlier series for a backup for Jhulan, she's able to move the ball, and that was great to see. Jhulan Goswami, needless to say, is the greatest player that India has produced. Perhaps the greatest bowler that the world has seen. She's now at what? 200 and something, 200 and close to 250 wickets is something. There is a question, I think. What question were you telling me, Trisha? You were telling me a question. You were giving me a question. What is the question? I will take all the questions here. But you were messaging me something, Trisha. I didn't get your WhatsApp. Can you repeat the WhatsApp here on screen or message me on private chat or do something? I'll take that. I'll absolutely take that. So there is a real lot of talent. Rajeshwari Gaikwad bowling very, very well. So I will absolutely take the questions as well. In my private chat, okay, she's put it here. Sunny Singh at Ashish. She's a good batter, very timid captain. She should have got fired up seeing umpire's decision in second ODI. Hello? Timid captain could not have turned it around the manner that she has. This is the greatest cricket team of all time. It is not about Mithali Raj jumping up and about in the field. Mahendra Singh Dhoni is not Virat Kohli. Mahendra Singh Dhoni does not act in the same manner. He's the greatest cricket captain that India has produced. I hope you agree, Sunny Singh, and if you don't, then I have serious doubt about your understanding of the sport. Mahendra Singh Dhoni is not Virat Kohli. Each to his own. Virat brings that passion to his sport. Mahendra Singh Dhoni brings the calmness to his sport. Mithali Raj, what she had to do, she's done after the first game. There are certain things I cannot say. She has done after the first game, and the evidence is in front of you and me. To push Australia like the way she did in the second game, to beat Australia like the way India has in the third game, is proof of what Mithali Raj is as a captain. So I hope this nonsense is stopped once and for all. Now let's go to the questions. There are plenty, and I'm delighted that there are so many. Arpan, finally, absolutely finally, Arpan, I'm delighted. I'm absolutely over the top about this win because I know, having spoken to the members there, what the team was going through. This women's team is no less than our men's team. Sumit Kumar Parida. Who says this is less? Never was this team any less. The thing is, let's improve the fielding and the catching. Let's have some basics in place. This team can make a real splash come the World Cup of 22. Just improve the fielding. I agree with you. Aryan, hand first. What does that mean? Hello, sir. Manish Bardia. Hello, yes. You still defend? Come on, man. I don't even think this question is relevant. This question is relevant, Ashish Shetty. Look yourself into the mirror. Come on. Let's not get into it. You're a disgrace. Selva Akash, it's a proud moment. India broke the... Absolutely. I mean, a team that has won 26 games is the greatest cricket team of all time. To be able to beat them is an excellent effort. And as I said, I think it should have been 2-1. Ayush Singh, great game. Agree. Selva Akash, yeah. Have a pre-match for IPL doubleheader today, sir. Yes, 2:30. But straight after this show, so we will get into the doubleheader straight up. But I had to do a special show on this particular game because, as I said, I am thrilled to bits. More than that, I think this was a spectacular effort from our girls, and we will back them on Sports Today even if they lose. Indian team choke in second ODI. No, they did not. Absolutely, they did not. The choke word is totally incorrect if you use that word. So no, they did not. Go check the 49th over first ball. It was a plumb LBW. Go add DRS. Let's stop tokenism and make some real change. India should have won. Australia, the cheat second ODI through umpires. Let's not use word cheat, but there was an element of doubt for sure that no ball remains inconclusive. Sir, post-match 2 ball was LBW. It's poor umpiring. No debate, it was poor umpiring. Who says it was not poor umpiring? Why Mithali is forcibly prolonging her career? Nobody is forcibly prolonging her career, by the way. In England, she was the standout, 550s. No one is forcibly prolonging everything. Kartik Patani, it is on the selectors. If you think forcibly prolonging, go tell her that, you are not part of this team anymore based on quality, based on performance. It is upon you, Kartik Patani, whether you have posted this or I am doing my journalism. No one has forced me to. If you don't like my journalism, you won't watch. If you don't want to post, you won't. Who are you and I to say Mithali is prolonging? It's her career. She can do whatever. If the selectors believe, if the board believes she's not good enough, it is upon the board and the selectors to go tell her. So let's be respectful for the greatest cricketer that India has perhaps produced in the women's game. Shiv Taneja, amazing to see Indian women come back from such situations. I totally agree with you, Shiv Taneja. Will Rahane, I am not answering Rahane at all. This has nothing to do with Rahane. Okay. What is this? Several more questions. There are too many questions. I think I've answered quite a few questions here. I will wrap up the show with 3 points. 1, if we are able to improve our fielding and catching ahead of the World Cup, let us do everything to do so. I think this Indian team has enough potential and enough merit to surprise the best in the world, like we have already seen. Number 2, it is absolutely imperative that DRS is added to the women's game. Lisa Thalekar and I were chatting on WhatsApp day before. Both of us were of the opinion you have to have DRS. Broadcast costs cannot stop the inclusion of DRS in the women's game. Top flight teams are playing. Request to the ICC, get DRS into the fold for the women's game. It is absolutely imperative that we have that. And number 3, it is totally important that we back this Indian team. Let's not say, oh, Virat Kohli bad captain, Mahendra Singh Dhoni should retire, so-and-so should go, X is bad, Mithali Raj should go. We just need to go back to England and see what transpired. Did you see her average in the run chase? It is 111, perhaps the best ever. So, and there is no two ways, even today, the way she captained, getting in Rajeshwari Gaikwad the moment the right-hander came out, Jhulan Goswami, the usage of Jhulan Goswami, in the dressing room, the captain is just not out there. In the dressing room and to turn it around like the way this team did. Credit to Mithali and Ramesh Pawar, the coaching staff, Shiv Sundar Das, the batting coach as well, for the way they've turned it around after that first game. It is very important that we as analysts and fans back this team. We must back this team. There is enough and more potential in that. We here on Sports Today will continue to back this women's team because we believe We believe that this team can absolutely make a mark come the World Cup in February. I'm looking forward to the day-night test. First ever India is playing, so we'll all have to be a little careful as to what we expect, because it's not going to be easy against a fantastic Australian team. But who knows? We've seen how well India did in England. For the moment, I'm thrilled to bits for Jhulan Goswami. As I said, one of my closest friends, Jhulan Goswami, you are a legend. I'm thrilled to bits because it had to come to you. There is a cricketing god, had to come to you to sort of play that really shot and close the game. We all know what this game means to you, and we all also know what you mean to this game. That's why you're God's child, because Jhulan, you had to finish it off. That's why I love this sport so much. It levels everything. It levels everything, and you deserve to win this, Mithali Raj. You deserve to win this, Smriti Mandana, Jhulan Goswami, and the rest of the team. Thrilled to bits. Let's get to the test match. For the moment, in exactly 9 minutes, I will join you with our IPL show and all our fans. Tweeting it out, including the link, with our fans who will be part of today's show. All 4 super fans will be joining me in exactly 9 minutes. Tweeting the link here on Sports Today. Join me in a whiff. Go get a glass of water. If you've had lunch, have your coffee or your green tea, and join me for the IPL build-up show with our super fans. Super Sunday. 2 massive games, KKR and CSK, and of course, Rohit versus Virat, Mumbai versus RCB. See you on the other side. Quick break of 7.5, 8 minutes. Back with another show on Sports Today. Thank you very much for watching.